Let's talk about the jobs number that came out on Friday. Again, remember the jobs number was expected to be 170,000. I actually put out a guess of 97,000, and it actually came in at 187,000. However, there is one small little tweak to that number. So not only did it come out at 187,000 jobs added, but we got two revisions. So we took away 100,000 jobs from previous months. So if you really want to net it out, we gained 87,000, but that's not what it will look like in history books, folks. History books will say that the month of August added 187,000. But it should again be worth noting that the revisions down are continuing. The other thing that's very important, and again, I think, quote unquote, the Fed is smiling, the Fed is doing their job. The unemployment rate had a noticeable uptick. Now, how can that be, Michael? We added 187,000 jobs, but the unemployment rate went up. It actually went up quite significantly. It went from 3.5 to 3.8. Well, there is this third variable called the participation rate. Essentially, what we are doing in the latest job market is we are pulling people off the sidelines, right? There's this little rule in unemployment. If you're not actively looking, you are not counted. But if you start to look, you are counted. So what could this mean? Could this mean the economy is softening? Yep. Could this mean that people are running out of savings? Yep. Could this mean something else? Sure. But there's a lot going on. And again, the Fed is smiling. We're still adding jobs. We're pulling people off the sidelines, which means that opening positions and whatnot will be coming down. The Fed loved Friday's job report. It was kind of the perfect setup for their soft landing. I also think it now validates that there will be no rate increase in September, although we do get a couple of very important inflation metrics next week, pre-Fed meeting. That will, of course, be CPI and PPI. But again, more evidence that the Fed is winning as of Friday's job number. How about the least and most expensive states to retire in? I thought that was an interesting article. Most folks would probably guess the most expensive. At least I actually would have guessed. Oh, I might have guessed only two of these five. So the most expensive is New York, followed, of course, by California, then Massachusetts, Washington State, and Maryland. How about the least expensive? Would I have gotten any of these right? I might have got a couple of these. The least expensive state to retire in is in West Virginia, followed by Mississippi, Iowa, Alabama, and Missouri. So again, folks, the most expensive and least expensive to retire in. How about the UK? According to Robert Gardner, chief economist at Nationwide, the UK has just suffered the largest price drop in 14 years, and it is just starting. The UK is already down 5.3% from the peak. Rates are up. This is going to get worse. Robert highlights that if you are a borrower with fixed rate debt, you are likely to be okay. Again, folks, the UK housing market is not like the US, where there is a predominant portion of 30-year fixed rate debt. I've been asked many times, if the US had ARMs, would we be in trouble? Of course we would. Of course we would. But now we have a lion's share of folks below 4, lots of people below 5. And if you believe BlackRock, 90% of us have mortgage rates below 6. It's just where we are. It's an entirely different ballgame with fixed versus variable rate debt. Don't know if you saw this, but Dollar General, that was an ugly earnings report. And it's really interesting. I look at Dollar General and then Lululemon, kind of different income, different customers. And I wonder if that's telling us the economy is starting to bifurcate. Again, Lululemon blew out their numbers, raised guidance. Dollar General, huge disappointment, way down. They blamed slump in consumers and theft and all of these things. I don't know. We've got to watch it. How about the good old David Portnoy? David Portnoy comes in buys his company back for $1. He goes to the office. There's no one there. And then lo and behold, he announces a 25% cut in staff. Folks, Amazon is talking about this, as are many companies. Get your butt back to the office or your time here might be short. David Portnoy pulled an Elon Musk and whacked 25%, I think within 30 days of buying it back. He is not going to be burning capital. So again, be careful. And then finally, folks, we can talk about the UAW strike. Again, this was Ford, GM, and others. Did you know that the UAW is looking to get a 40% pay raise and take the work week down to 32 hours? Yes, folks, they're looking to take the work week down and get a pay bump to 40%. I think the chances are that they go on strike are pretty high. They have, last checked, about a $750 billion strike fund. I think their president is itching for a fight. He wants to see what he can get, and he knows that squeezing pain is the best way to get it. So again, I think a UAW strike is pretty certain. Why don't you let me know? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Will UAW strike or not? Just a simple yes, no. And again, we should know by the 14th or 15th of September. So it's right around the corner, folks. Remember, folks, we are running our first ORAT boot camp. It's 10 weeks. It's $1,000. If you want to sign up, there'll be a link below. We are going to have our first introductory call later this week. That will not count to the 10. It will just be an introductory call and make sure we are all on the same page. All righty, folks, take care of yourself. That is the daily financial news for Friday, September 1st. It was a very important day. Again, I got it wrong. I'm in my new location, so I don't have my shirt, but it was a swing and a miss. I got it wrong. Lots of you like to hear that, so I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.